I used to love them. Like, and when I say used to, I
I
mean
have
like
some tea on them,
happened.
bitch.
Oh, okay. We're going down the rabbit hole.
We're going down the rabbit hole. Y'all coming with me, okay?
Welcome back. We're your host, Savannah.
And Kaylin.
Hey, guys.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't know you were going to do an intro. I'm sorry.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of Two Candid Cousins. We are on episode 10. Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I cannot believe it. We were going to do something special, but, we'll save that for some later episodes once we hit more benchmarks.
We've been sick, so
Yeah.
can't really say nothing. Sorry about the sound. Let me set up my mic real quick.
Okay.
I just realized I didn't. Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the first thing that I wanted to talk about today is this whole Danny Masterson stuff.
Yes. Yes. And this is all crazy timing because Ricky and I were looking for something to watch on Peacock the other night. It was like a week or two ago. And we were like, oh my God, that 70s show. We haven't seen that in so long. We love that show. And so we started to rewatch it. And then the Danny Masterson case, more details came out. And I was like, fuck. I can't watch it anymore.
So for those that don't know, I mean, we've been sick. We're late on this news. So if you don't know, you've been living in a hole. But Danny Masterson from that 70s show got sentenced 30 years in prison for 2 counts of SA. I'm just gonna say it that way. I'm not gonna read like the judge's sentencing because it's so long, and we could probably talk an hour about that. By the way, sorry that I sound like a fucking man, but
you don't sound like a man. You just got some bass to it a little bit.
There are so many old interviews that are disgusting. If you look back on it now, like knowing like what Danny Masterson did or allegedly did. But my favorite is when he appeared on Conan O'Brien. Did you hear that?
No, I don't think so.
So I
No.
saved the audio, and I want to play some audio for you, okay?
Yeah. Okay, do it. Let's do it.
All right, hold on 1 second.
Okay. Oh, by the way, before you start, this is just a side
Okay.
note. We don't have
I
our
don't know if
host
it's gonna start playing.
We
Okay.
don't have our names up.
Oh, let's put that up real quick. There we
go.
So, this is what Conan said to Danny Masterson, and it gave me chills watching this.
Like my friend Bodie Elfman, he always teases me and he says, "Hi, my name is Danny Masterson. Would you like to touch my balls?" You know, doing an imitation of me, because certain words
why are you asking people to do that? That's the more important question.
I mean, you got them.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Accent
Everybody
aside,
should grab.
that's the more important thing.
Exactly.
I've heard about you, and you'll be caught soon. I know you will.
I will.
What?
He said you'll be caught soon.
Oh my God.
What?
That's like one of those like Simpsons, like where they predict something.
Right? I feel like a lot of celebrities knew what was going on. And I've just come to accept that all celebrities are corrupt, man. Like
I know. And I'm sure you heard about like Ashton and Mila's response. I used to love them. Like, and when I say used to, I mean
I have
like
some tea on them, bitch.
Oh, okay. We're going down the rabbit hole.
We're going down the rabbit hole. Y'all coming with me, okay? And for everyone that's late out there, like y'all can it's okay, I'll catch you up, okay? So there's also videos resurfacing of Ashton Kutcher, okay, and Mila. I have a couple that I want to show you today, okay?
Okay.
One. Oh shit. Okay. So here's one of Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, okay? In this video, she is 15 and he is 20. Let me just clarify that real quick.
Icky.
Yeah,
14-year-old
little girl, and I was extremely.
Oh crap.
No, he was very nice about it. He was like, "Oh, don't worry." So I was like, "Okay." Then Danny goes to him and goes, "Dude, I'll give you $10 if you French kiss her." What would he stick your tongue in my mouth or some?
What? No.
For $10.
You're making it sound like it was like really. Okay, Dan, we had a little side bet, don't we? So Danny bets me like $20 that I wouldn't do it. And of course, I'm like, yeah, sure. What's the deal? You know?
And then the cops showed up. And
So to me, it sounds like Mila was brainwashed into believing that it was okay for all the inappropriate acts and behavior and words that her cast members used on her. So I feel bad for her.
Yep.
I know she's a grown-ass woman now and a mom, but
right. One of the videos I thought I saved, but I guess I didn't, sadly. But it's Mila sitting on his lap, and she's 15 and he's 20. And he pops up from behind her and he's like, "The reason I'm here today is not because of this. It's because so-and-so said Mila would sit on my lap." And she's like, "Oh," and he starts grabbing her around the shoulders and is like, "It feels so good," and starts fucking dry humping her.
I love how this was just normalized back then. Like, this was so normal. No one like thought twice about this.
Right.
Which reminds me of our first episode ever.
Yeah.
Where we talk about behavior like this in Hollywood. So, you know, shout out to episode 1.
And then I have a quick little video of Ashton Kutcher saying some inappropriate stuff, okay?
Okay.
She also has an album out. She's going to be in a movie called Cheaper by the Dozen. And she's one of the girls that we're all waiting for to turn 18. Along with the Olsen twins. Any 15-year-old.
Red flag.
That's suspicious.
That's weird.
That's weird.
That is disgusting, bro. Like, it sounds like men in Hollywood just have, or men in general, just have like list for women in Hollywood that turn 18. That's so disgusting. Weren't there like countdown websites for like Hilary Duff and Britney Spears? Yeah.
Really so as you said, they wrote character letters, right? We're not going to read those. If you haven't read them, go find them. They're all over the internet.
Everywhere.
One thing I didn't know is that there was a total of 50 character letters.
50.
And you know what's funny?
What?
They're all from people within
Scientology.
The Scientology cult.
Yep. It's all connected.
All fucking connected. Now, the only person I stand by in this is Topher Grace.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He is an unproblematic king.
Yeah. So everyone that doesn't know, him and his wife shared to their story and said, "To every R victim that is re-traumatized by witnessing society debate and focus their attention on what's going to happen to the rapist, I see you."
I love that.
So did you hear about Chrissy Bixler?
I don't even know who that is.
Yes. Okay, bitch. So Chrissy Bixler dated Danny Masterson during his filming time of that 70s show.
Okay.
He actually appeared on the show a few times as a guest. Well, she is coming for everyone's throats and exposing, and she's one of the victims that filed the lawsuit against him to get him arrested in the first place.
Oh shit, you go girl. You go girl.
Right. So, let me read this fucking post from her Instagram story.
Oh my god.
"Dear Ashton, I know the secrets your role model keeps for you, ones that would end you. Did you forget I was there? You were on speakerphone that night you called Danny, February 21st, 2001. I heard everything, and I heard the plan. In my opinion, you're just as sick as your mentor."
Wait a second. I know what happened that night. Yeah, that's the night that Ashton's girlfriend.
Yes. On February 21st, 2001, Ashton Kutcher went to go pick up a date, and she was inside of her home. Okay. He was a witness in the case, and what he said on the stand was, I knocked on the door and there was no answer. Then I knocked again, once again, no answer. At this point, I pretty well assumed she had left for the night and that I was late and that she was upset. He then left. He also noted he saw stains on the floor and assumed it was red wine.
That is
So,
sketchy.
and what Chrissy is saying is that Ashton called that night for
Called
advice.
Danny.
Yeah. And the body was not discovered until the following day.
Well,
And that Danny
where
was
did they
giving him
discover
advice
the
on
body? Do you know?
in her apartment, but he was
Okay.
panicking, asking for advice because his fingerprints were everywhere.
Oh, were they? One
Yeah.
of the craziest things to me is the red wine stains. Like,
Yeah.
really? Why would you notice that, and why would you mention that?
Right.
Unless you did something. Like,
Right. So then she goes on in the same Instagram story to say, "Dear Mila, I pray you begin to process what you experienced as a child on that set. Your old interviews are very telling. I encourage everyone to watch them and decide for yourself what you hear and see. Do so before they get scrubbed from the internet. I also know what happened in Toronto and after. Question, if that's what you view as a normal relationship with a big brother figure, then I feel very sad for you, and I hope you consider getting into therapy. You all must forget I was there the whole time those first 5 years of that '70s show, and I remember everything."
I wonder what she's referencing.
Yeah, what happened in Toronto?
Wow, what did Danny do?
Then she posted one more time.
Oh my god, this bitch is on fire.
So she said, "Y'all want to ask," and she starts throwing in other celebrities too at this point. "Y'all want to ask Ashton Kutcher if he remembers that orchestrated meeting between himself, January Jones, Laura Prepon, and me that took place in my, aka Danny Masterson's living room in 1998? I know the secrets your role model keeps. Hashtag hidden cameras."
Oh shit. So is this supposed to be like a slow leak of an exposure?
I
Do you think
think
that's what's happening?
what it is she's a part of the lawsuit, so she's limited to what she can say.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense, actually. So
Yeah.
she's kind of throwing hints out there,
Because if
remaining
she says the
ambiguous.
wrong thing, it could probably mess up the whole
Yeah,
case, I would assume, like
yeah, definitely. But aren't these hints that she's throwing out, like, they couldn't use that against her?
I don't think so. It's not like she's saying anything very specific. I mean,
Yeah,
she is, but
she's not saying Danny Masterson and Ashton Kutcher, helped
right.
cover
She's
up a
bringing up
body,
dates
like
and letting people she's letting other
yeah.
people connect the dots, basically.
Exactly, exactly. Damn, well, I'm excited to see what happens. Well, not excited, but anxious to see what happens in the coming
Right.
weeks. Cause
Now, Ashton Kutcher owns Thorne with,
yes.
Demi Moore.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this, but they were married.
I think I did. Yeah.
They ended up divorcing because he cheated on her 3 times.
Oh, hmm,
Um,
great
all of
guy.
this makes me question the integrity of Thorne. I mean, Thorne is supposed
Yeah.
to be a nonprofit that helps, kids make sure that they're not exposed
Mhm,
online and
mhm.
stop human trafficking and
It
things like
makes you
that.
wonder if it's a what's the word? Not cover up, but
Front
you know what I'm
or,
talking about. What's the word? What's the
like, easy
when you're
access
like a
to the freaking
front?
kids.
Yeah,
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 and
yeah.
another thing is
Front.
he's well known and well connected with the police and the CIA,
Oh, lovely.
and you know what their reputation is when
Oh,
it comes to
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah,
So here's
definitely.
the crazy shit, okay?
Okay.
Ashton Kutcher and Mila resigned from Thorne
When? Like, recently?
yesterday or 2 days ago.
What? That tells
So
me that some shit is about to come out about that. Oh, I got
yeah,
goosebumps. Oh my god.
yeah. This is what he said. "After my wife and I spent several days of listening, personal reflection, learning, and conversations with survivors and the employees and leadership at Thorne, I've determined that the responsible thing for me to do is resign as chairman of the board effective immediately. I cannot allow my error in judgment to distract from our efforts and children we serve."
You know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like he was asked to leave, but because he founded the company, he was able to say he resigned. I
Yeah.
don't think it was his
They didn't
decision
like
at
that
all.
attention that they're getting.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that was his decision. I think the board of
No.
directors perhaps saw everything that's going on,
Yeah.
and they're like, "This can't happen. This can't happen. You guys gotta go."
And I tried to find some information, but it's really hard nowadays. And I
Weird.
did see a TikTok that has now been taken down about one of the founders at Thorne allegedly being accused of SA as well.
Oh, wow. Go figure.
So, I
It's
will
really
not be
disgusting
surprised.
to me, like, the fact that they would be working for a nonprofit that stands for protecting children and protecting victims, and then they're out there doing
Right.
the same thing that they're trying to protect them from. Pisses me off, man.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we'll see what comes out soon because this isn't the
Right.
end of it.
Right. Also real quick before I let you get appointed,
No, you're good.
um, another person that's in the limelight, I don't know if you heard, is Russell Brand.
I did hear about that. Mhm.
Yeah,
For
so for
almost
those of
the same reasons, right? Like
yeah,
SA?
for those of the people out there that don't know, he's a comedian and actor. He was married to Katy Perry. He is being accused of essaying 4 women,
Mm,
and he just became accused this week.
despicable.
He made a video the day before the allegations came out because his PR team told him that there was allegations coming out against him,
Of
and he
course.
was, like, basically saying,
Damage
you
control.
know yeah, he's basically saying, "Oh, I have people out to get me and blah, 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 blah." Like, if you look at any Russell Brand interviews,
Mhm.
he's a fucking creep.
Oh, yeah.
He
I
makes
always was
people
creeped out by
uncomfortable.
him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he makes people uncomfortable, and he's thrilled by it. He's, like, notorious for, like, pulling people on his lap, kissing people's cheeks, like, being too touchy.
Wow.
So it doesn't surprise me
No, not at all.
at all. So, these
So
aliens in Mexico.
No, those came I mean, I'm sure you saw they came out as, like, fake. It was
No, I
debunked.
didn't.
Yeah, it was debunked. Basically
By who, though?
well, basically, there it's hard to explain, but there were some, like, mummies, I think they were Nezcal, I believe is what they were called, like, mummies they discovered a few years ago, actually.
Mm.
And so, basically, someone, like, took those pictures, or I think they took the mummy itself and they kind of molded it
Oh,
into
yeah.
that alien shape.
Yeah.
And then it looks like everything else was probably faked. So I didn't look
Oh,
into it
wow.
enough to like see like if it was, like to see the facts about it.
Yeah.
But it definitely does seem like it's been debunked. And to me, it kind of looked fishy from the start. Like they look
Yeah.
too much like your typical aliens.
Yeah, they literally look like ET.
Exactly. So I kind of knew it was fishy from the beginning, but it was also the first time
Right.
we've seen like bodies.
Yeah, yeah.
And supposedly there were actual scientists talking during the hearing and, explaining everything about the bodies. So I need to look more into that cuz I don't really know what went
Yeah.
down. A lot of it's was in Spanish, so
Yeah.
it was a struggle.
All I have to say is a lot of times when things get debunked, it's debunked by the people who want them debunked.
Or it's a psyop and there's something
Yeah,
else about to come out and it's
definitely.
distracting us and making us believe that everything
Right,
to do with aliens is fake. So,
right.
yeah,
Now
but oh, I have something I wanna talk
what,
about.
what?
Okay, you probably heard about it. Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. Have you heard about it?
No,
No? Okay.
no.
So Joe is married to Sophie Turner, who played a huge role in Game of Thrones. I never really
Okay,
watched it, but I know
me
of
neither.
her. She's a very famous actress. She's beloved by everyone. They love her.
Yeah.
She's British, she's blonde, she's adorable, she's a great personality. And her and Joe were a very beloved couple because they were just really goofy with each other and
Mhm.
yeah, so they're married. They have 2 girls together, 2 little girls. And about 2 weeks ago, a report came out that they were divorcing. And the day before that,
Ooh.
at the recent Jonas Brothers concert, Joe wasn't wearing his wedding ring at the concert. So it's
Oh,
almost like he
interesting.
was trying to hint at what was coming the next day
Yeah.
because everyone was already speculating, like, "Oh my god, where's his ring? What's he doing?"
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
next day, it came out, I think, like, TMZ or something was like, "Joe Jonas reportedly divorcing Sophie Turner." So people were like, "What the fuck happened?" So what Joe ended up doing over the course of a week was he started
Mhm.
slowly releasing a very calculated PR managed smear campaign against Sophie and basically started making it seem like she was a party girl, she didn't wanna have a family, couldn't settle down, she liked to drink too much, just anything he could think of.
Yeah.
Trying to make it seem like she cares more about her career and partying than her family. But in an interview from, I believe, 2020, you can see Sophie Turner telling the press that actually it's the opposite in their relationship. She said she struggles to lock Joe down. They were already married at that
I
point.
believe it.
I do too. She said that
He's
he would
always
always be
given me
out
the
late.
vibes. Yeah, he's always given me the vibes of being, like, very besides when I used to, like, be a heart he used to
Oh,
be a heart-throb in
same.
my eyes.
He was my Jonas brother. Like, that's
Yeah,
the one that I
he
was like,
first it was Joe for me,
yeah,
and then him. Well, first it was Joe, and then it was Nick.
yeah, yeah.
But he's
It was
always given
always
me the
Joe.
vibes of, like, he plays this, like, really nice, caring guy, but he's really an asshole.
Yes. I never got that vibe until now. I mean, I kinda stopped following the Jonas Brothers in recent years. I don't really
Yeah.
care for their new music or
Yeah,
anything.
me neither.
I feel like they're hanging on to the Jonas Brother name a little too much. But,
Way too much.
yeah, but Joe basically started, releasing all this stuff. It started coming out slowly, and of course, it was never him that was saying it, it was a close friend. Like, really? Well, a little bit
Yeah,
after
okay.
that, I think 2 days after that came out, he went to a breakfast with their 2 daughters and the nanny, and you can see him, like, high-fiving them, and he's literally cosplaying a perfect dad to,
Yeah.
kind of, like, support all these claims that he's making about
He knows
Sophie,
she's
like
about to come for him.
exactly, and so it looks so planned. I'll have you put the pictures up. It's so
Yeah.
cringy,
I
bro.
will, I will.
But because it's like he's trying too hard. Like, we know everyone sees through it. Everyone knows what he's doing, that he's trying to get ahead of the game and paint Sophie as the bad guy in the
Yeah.
relationship. So, yeah, anyways, there's a lot of, like, back and forth about it and back and forth about it, but the part that annoys me the most is that I believe this was one of the first times that their daughters were photographed, and Sophie feels very strongly about that. Like, she does not want their daughters in the
Oh,
press. She
wow.
doesn't want them to see them.
I was
So
gonna
I
say, I don't think I've really ever seen them.
she wanted that way. So to me,
Yeah.
that's so disrespectful to make yourself look good. You're gonna use your little girls and you're gonna go against your wife's wishes because she's still their mother. Like, that doesn't mean you could disrespect her and go against her just because 'cause y'all aren't
Yeah.
married anymore. Like, no, it doesn't work like that, honey.
Yeah, that's not
So
okay.
that pissed me off, and then literally after that breakfast happened, Sophie has a way better, like, lawyer and PR team because she's richer than him, has a more
Yeah.
successful career than him, and they came after him, man. Just, like, article after article just
That's
slamming
amazing.
him. It was so good. So I don't really know what's happening now, but that was happening, like, last week, and it was very juicy, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Ooh,
going on.
interesting. Did you, hear JoJo Siwa's response
To
to
Colleen?
Yeah,
Yeah. The girl's brainwashed. I truly believe she's brainwashed, like,
it's so sad.
I she's been exposed to so much, like, fame and so much attention at such a young age, and abuse, honestly,
Yeah.
like, look at how Abby treated her on Dance Moms, like, it makes me
Yeah.
sick to my stomach when I watch stuff like that.
Yeah, I never really watched Dance Moms, but I've seen clips because
I haven't watched it either.
I had to looked up really, I didn't, look into JoJo that much until
Yeah,
the Colin thing happened.
yeah.
'Cause I
Mhm.
knew of her, obviously, but I didn't, like, really know the extent
Right.
of everything that she's been through, you know?
Yeah.
And she's 20 now, so a lot of people
I
are saying,
know.
like, she needs to like unbrainwash herself, but like that's kind of rude.
Well,
Like,
that's hard to do, first of all. You can't just
yeah,
do it like that. Like,
right.
second of all, her mom, I'm sorry, in my opinion, she's a shitty mom. She doesn't
Yeah,
care about she only cares about exploiting JoJo, in my opinion.
yeah,
So, she's literally one of those, like, pageant moms, but, like,
yep.
times 100. And I think that when you're so close to a parent that doesn't have your best interest at heart and they just care about controlling you and
And
controlling your narrative.
then you're around someone that's like so good at manipulating and so good at being
Exactly.
like this cool figure for these
Mhm.
young teens.
Yeah. It makes me sick, honestly. Like
She's been
Colleen,
real she's been real quiet.
she needs to I want her to delete her YouTube channel. That's what I wanna see.
Yeah,
I wanna see that wiped from the internet because,
yeah.
I mean, it's shit content anyways.
She's lucky her ass ain't going to fucking jail.
I know, right? God,
Like,
she should
what?
be.
Yeah, I wish Trisha would've pressed charges. She should've.
I know. I think
But
she just wanted to, like, be done with it, honestly, which
this
I
is
don't blame her.
this is controversial, but, like, I don't hate Trisha anymore.
No, I'm on the
Like,
same page as you.
I feel like she's grown and become so mature
Yeah.
in this past, like, year since she became a mom, basically, and,
Mhm.
like, really, she's, like I always had a feeling that a lot of the shit she did was all for views or clout or
Mhm.
just, like, this personality she put on
Yeah.
for social media, but, like, she really has sat and looked at herself and said, "Okay, I need to grow the
Mhm.
fuck up."
Exactly. No, I definitely see that change in her because I used to watch her just for fun because she was just so
Yeah,
out there for me, when I was, like, in high school, and now to, like, see her again, she's basically a different person,
yeah,
and I know that, she's done some pretty
yeah.
controversial things in the past. You can't deny that she was not a
Mm-mm.
great person in the past, but
No,
that doesn't mean
definitely. I
that she
hated her
can't
ass.
try. I know, but that doesn't mean she can't try to be a better person
No.
now, and I feel like people are just so unwilling to give her a second chance, and to me, like, people like Trisha are the types of people that deserve second chances, not people like Colleen who just
And people
prove.
like fucking Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson are still talking shit about her. Like,
I
look
know.
in the fucking mirror and check your fucking self.
Mhm. Jeffree Star just tries to be relevant all the time.
Yeah,
He's just
seriously.
desperate.
Right. One thing I wanted to show you, have you seen the AI robots at the football games?
No.
Okay, so they started using and people are saying it's like a promotion for a movie, right? But it's
Yeah.
these robots in the crowd that look extremely real,
Ugh.
and people were freaked out by it. Well, this guy was watching the video and realized it was his face.
Wait,
On the robot,
on
they
the
used his face.
No.
I'm gonna
Oh
put
my
the
god.
picture up.
Okay.
It could be, it looks like him and it's not him, but I just wanted
Mhm.
to point out the fact. What happened this year? AI apps.
Hmm.
Everyone
Everywhere.
uploaded their faces.
Everywhere. Yep.
Everyone did it.
They have a huge
And
database of it now.
they have a database and you had to sign terms and conditions that said we can literally use your face for anything.
Which you did it too. I did it
Yes,
too. We both
I
did
sure
it.
did.
We're like, "Ooh, this is
So, and
fun."
I knew something was up, but I was like, "But I wanna know what I would look like."
I know. Dang
So, hey, you might be seeing some me's out there,
it.
but let
At the
me show
next Bucks
you.
game, there will be me and you sitting next to each other. For robots.
Well, damn, I'll just have to show you after, and I'll put a clip
Okay.
in here because I don't wanna I don't wanna, like, mess anything up trying to pull it up. But
Okay.
I'll edit it in, and I'll show you after after we're done filming. But,
Okay.
another thing that's trending, have you heard the trend where people are asking their husbands how many times they think about the Roman Empire?
No.
So all I figured you didn't because 'cause you're not on TikTok. All of these women are asking their husbands, "Hey, how often do you think about the Roman Empire?" And they're saying, like, once a day, 4 times a week, like, all these crazy numbers, right? So I want you to go ask Ricky right now.
Okay. Hang on. Hey, babe. Babe, I have a question for you. It's for the podcast. How often a day do you
Or a
think
week?
about the or actually, sorry, how often do you think about the Roman Empire per week?
Per week?
Yeah.
Like never. He said never.
Like, never?
Oh my
Never? Ever?
God.
He's like, "No, it's not something I usually think about, no."
Literally, I don't know if it's, like, women
Thank you.
putting their husbands up to it, but, like, these guys are, like, all the time, and I feel like a lot of it boils down to people that are, like, into sports or, like, people that are super heavy into politics because, like, that's relevant in those
You know
worlds, it
what,
gets brought up
though?
a lot.
I think about it a lot.
Really? How
I'm the
often,
one in the
bitch?
relationship. No, like 1 to 2 times a week sometimes.
Oh my
Sometimes I skip a
god!
week, but
I
I
don't
think
think
my theory is because I was super into history growing up. I still am, especially ancient history. And on top of that, you gotta think the way I grew up,
Yeah,
fundamentalist Christian cult, everything about Christianity and the Bible has to do with the Roman Empire.
yeah, that's
So
true.
it's something that I was always thinking about because of the Bible and stuff
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
So it's not that weird that it'll pop in my head a
Bitch, I
lot,
don't know
like,
if I've ever in
"Hmm."
my life thought about the Roman So, I've seen a few TikToks of women being like, "So what is our Roman Empire? Like, what is something that women think about all the time?" And these were the
Hmm.
top 3 that I saw, okay?
Okay.
Murder,
Hmm.
like, either just true crime shit or
Oh,
am I
yeah.
gonna get murdered?
Yeah.
Safety
Yeah. I definitely see that.
all day, every day.
Been there, done
And
that.
then and then the 3rd most popular, our ex-best friends.
Oof, that one's spot on.
Right?
That's spot on. Honestly,
Oh,
I am not gonna lie, that consumes my mind a lot of the time. I'll be
yeah.
sitting here thinking about like, I wonder what they're doing."
Yeah. Or if I'm out and about, I'm like, "Is he gonna try to kill me? Is he gonna try to kill me?" Like
Literally. And it doesn't help, like, where we live, the
No,
city that I live in, it does not
and
help.
me.
Like, there oh, yeah, we literally have people, like, that will come up to our cars and just, like, start they will not go away. I will make eye contact with them and be like and they'll just be like,
Bro, one time I was
"Oh,
at the gas station and it wasn't that far from your house. It was by my
oh
house,
god."
the house I lived in.
Yeah.
And this freaking crackhead was like, "Hey, let me get $1." And I was like, "Uh-uh." And then he's like, "Well, let me get your number then." And I was like, "Uh-uh." And he literally sat on my hood, and then I went to go back up, and he tried to get in my car. He opened my
Like,
passenger side door,
oh my god, bro, what
and
the
I
heck?
had to literally, like, zoom off and damn near run his ass over.
Oh my god. It's so funny because I don't really consider the neighborhood that we live in to be that rough, honestly. Mostly our street, because we have
Yeah,
some, like,
your
bougie
block isn't
people.
that bad.
We have bougie people on the block,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we're, like, honestly, like, we seem like the poorest people on our street,
Oh
and
my
I think all of
god.
our neighbors think that too because 'cause they're so judgmental towards us. Like,
All your
I'll walk
neighbors are like, "You better
outside
watch out for them."
no, listen, listen, listen. I will walk outside, and if the neighbor is outside across the street, they will literally go back inside and shut the garage door. They do not wanna see us, they do not
Oh
wanna
my
I have
god.
tried to say hello so many times, and I'd be like, "Good morning," to, like, him or his wife, totally ignore me and turn around. Just ignore
So,
me like I don't
we have to
exist.
we have to talk a little bit, I'll cut this out if you're not comfortable with it, about how literally a group of dudes on bikes got shot at on your porch.
I was gonna bring that up, I was gonna bring
Your
that up.
neighbors your
Yeah.
neighbors are probably like, "See, I fucking knew it, that they got beef with somebody."
That's so funny. We're just so problematic and we stay at home all the time. We're
Literally,
literally old people, but
literally,
our house gets the most activity on the whole street. And I will
literally.
say Like, we've had so much happen, I can't even say, like, some of the stuff that's happened, but, like Kaylin mentioned, there was one day I was home with the dogs, and some group there was, like, a car and then a group of guys on their bikes, and I heard, like, a banging noise, and so I watch our Ring camera, the recording of it afterwards, and they were like, a dude in the car was shooting at the dudes on the bikes, and they just happened to be driving past our house at that time. So now we got a nice little bullet hole on the side of our house. Woo! But that was so scary, and one of the guys hopped off the bike. He was literally using my car as a shield. I sent you the video. Like, that
Yeah.
shit was crazy. At first, I thought he was trying to, like, steal my tire cap or something. Actually, I think he did steal my tire cap. Leaned over there by my tire, and Ricky's like, "Maybe he's stealing your tire cap." I'm like, "Why the fuck would he want that?" He's like, "For his bike." I was like, "Okay, enjoy." Like, so we go out and check, and it's missing. So I don't know, but yeah, we've had like random men in our backyard. We've had, people
That
break
one
into our
homeless bitch yelling
vehicles.
at you
Yeah,
in
we
your
had
yard.
this homeless lady literally camped in our yard, our front yard, by the corner. She had her shit just laid out everywhere. She had her shopping cart. She had her pets. She was, like, on something because,
Yeah.
Ricky was very respectful to her at first, and he was like, "I'm sorry, like, this is private property, this is our yard, do you mind leaving?" Like, he was so polite, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden, she just looks at him, and she's like, "You're racist! I'll leave what I want!" And she was white. She was white. Like, honey, what are you saying? And she's like, "I just wanted to stay here for the day." And just, like, screaming all kinds of nonsense that made no sense whatsoever. But it's so funny because as she was literally screaming, she was packing up her shit. So, like, she knew she had to go, but she
Yeah.
just could not help not having the last word. Like, she had to have the last
She
word.
was gonna
So
win that
she's literally,
argument.
like she's screaming at us as she's shuffling down the street with her shopping cart. She's just, like, screaming back at
Oh my
us.
god.
We had to call the cops because she would not leave for a hot minute there, and Ricky was, like he was trying to keep a safe distance from her, but at the same time, like,
Yeah.
kind of scare her into just, like, getting out of there.
I just remember the videos that Ricky's, like, standing there on the phone, not saying anything to her, and he just reminded me of that meme of the dude who's just like, "You know what I'm talking about?"
Well, he was so calm. He was so calm. He's sitting there
Yeah.
talking to the cops. He's like, "Yep, I have this lady on my property.
And she's in
She's
the background like, "You
trespassing."
bitch!"
He's like, "She's trespassing," and he's just being so calm and quiet, and you can hear her screaming at him over the phone. Like, Ricky was like,
And meanwhile,
"Y'all
you're
hear
in the
this, right?"
car. Meanwhile,
I'm
you're in the car
recording
with the window rolled down like this much so you
I
can get a
was
clear
recording
recording.
with the dogs from the vehicle. I'm just like, just in case she tries anything, I gotta protect my man."
Yeah. Well,
I was ready to, like, sick the dogs on her.
I'm so dead. Oh my god.
Oh, good
That
times,
is
good
so funny.
times. Love it.
So you ready to get into this
Yeah.
conspiracy?
Oh, yeah. Time to
Okay.
get into behind the curtain. If I'm acting like I'm drunk, guys, I'm not drunk. I just had my first cup of coffee in, like, 6 months before recording, so I'm a little woo.
All right.
Okay. Alright.
Are you
Okay.
ready?
Alright, okay. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
ready.
so today, who do we have behind the curtain?
Ooh, I don't know. Who?
Tell y'all right now, we've been lying to you. I admit right here now on this stage.
That was a jump scare.
So we have the one and the only Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah. You have a candle,
So,
and you have a candle, and
in the wise words of Oprah, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Oof.
Let's quote yourself, bitch. Okay.
Mhm.
I want to preface this because there's a lot of Oprah lovers out there, okay? You can find anything on the internet. There is no correct information anywhere, okay? They tell us that we live in the day of information, but they didn't say correct information.
True that.
You could literally Google one thing. I seen a TikTok video of someone Googling, can coffee cause glaucoma? And it said, coffee has been proven to raise the chances of getting glaucoma. And then he Googled, can coffee cure glaucoma? And it said, coffee has been proven to cure glaucoma. Like, you can literally, Google will tell you what you want to know.
Yeah, what you want to see.
So, you know, when I say this information, disclaimer, it is all alleged. I am not speaking facts, okay? Like, I don't know if all of this is true. It's what I have heard. It's what people are conspiring, and I don't have proof to back it. I'm starting off by saying that. I also want to mention too, as we're growing up, and even now in society, we're taught that when a website has .gov, we should do what? Trust it.
Believe it.
But yet we don't trust our government. So let me just say that. So first I want to talk about the People's Fund of Maui a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
As of now, everyone should know her and The Rock started this, fund to try to help the people of Maui, okay? If you didn't know about it, go look it up, check out the website, see what the fuck it's about. I have a video, and it's a woman that has worked for fundraisers for 20 years, and she's explaining and going over their taxes a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Now, all of this is factual. I'm just starting this segment off this way to get a little backstory of what she's been up to these days, okay?
Okay.
Rock and Oprah raising money for the Maui Fund. My name is Ashley. I've been a professional fundraiser for over 20 years. I think like 25 plus at this point. Let me explain something to you. The word
I also did cut this video a tiny bit just because it was like 4 minutes long, so I just kept like the super important stuff.
fund means that it is a fund or a bank account, if you will, inside of a nonprofit. A nonprofit is managing it. What nonprofit is it? I will tell you. The Entertainment Industry Foundation. This is a fund. The Maui Fund is within the Entertainment Industry Foundation. I read a lot of 990s on my page. I haven't in a while, but let's look at it. A 990 is the tax return, if you will, that every nonprofit has to submit, just like we submit our taxes. And every nonprofit's 990 is open for public inquiry. It literally says that on the 990. Every single nonprofit, as long as they file their taxes, will have a 990 available. You can either go on an IRS website or you can go to ProPublica, which is my personal favorite. Do not go to any of these other websites, in my opinion, because they're just fishing for your address when this is publicly available information. And ProPublica doesn't bug me about that stuff. So this is their tax filing from 2021. These are the salaries of the executives. There are
484,000, 351,000, 290,000, 240,000.
Are 13
To me,
executives.
It's just really sketchy when people that work for nonprofits are making like six figures, like high six-figure numbers. I mean, I worked for a lot of nonprofits, and everything she said so far is spot on.
And
So,
typically, from what I've read and researched, when you have a nonprofit, only about 35% of the funds go to the actual
overhead
thing that
fees.
you're raising for. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
That get paid a total of $3,211,292.
Wow.
Listed in the 990, there are 29 individuals that also receive over $100,000 in compensation, which leaves 69 employees left because they state in their 990 they have 98 total employees. That leaves 69 employees with an average salary of $64,527.
What the fuck?
So her measly little $5 million that she donated.
Yeah. Doesn't even do payroll. It doesn't even cover that.
Yeah, it doesn't even cover their salary.
What the heck?
And not to mention, they both get a huge tax write-off and will get all of their money back.
Of course. And it's, oh my God. And the fact that it's called entertainment industry. Come on.
Yeah.
Really? Like, that's so
all I gotta say is The Rock has been real damn quiet.
Yeah. Has Oprah been saying anything?
No, she turned her comments off, and she turned her tags off.
Oh, you know that someone is guilty when they do that.
Do you hear her interview that was her response on all this backlash?
No.
I have the audio, and I'm about to play
it. She did an interview about Maui?
You sure did, and you know what she did? Gaslit
stupid.
everyone and made it seem like we were being extra.
Of course, always.
Yeah. Let me pull up the audio here. Okay.
I want to shift gears a little bit and turn to the Hawaii wildfires and the efforts to help those in need. The People's Fund of Maui was created by you and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, in which you both poured time, effort, and millions to kick it off yourselves. Yet and still, it faced online criticism. I want to give you the opportunity to kind of give your thoughts on that.
Well, this is a really great point about being happier in the midst of an onslaught of being terrorized and vilified online. I will say this. I came out of this experience, I was just saying this to Arthur this morning, with so much more compassion for young kids, because I was thinking, what if I didn't really know who I am? What if I didn't have the assurance of Invictus that I...
Do you, though, Oprah? Do you?
But what does that even have to do with anything?
Nothing. She does not know what to say. She is the queen of media. She is the queen of media, but she's stumped with this one.
She's making shit up, going off on a rabbit trail.
Yeah, also, she's in a room full of billionaires, by the way. There's like 4 or 5 billionaires in this room.
Of course.
And
she's playing the victim so hard right now. So hard.
Just listen to how she gaslights everyone. And people really were commenting saying, wow, she handled this situation so well.
Ugh. Blind followers.
My own fate and the captain of my soul. If
it would have taken you down.
It would have taken. It will take you out. Yeah. So all of the online, being
slander and
attacks, lies, conspiracy theories, really took the focus.
Conspiracy theories. It's literally in front of our faces.
Focus off of what was the most important thing, and that was the people of Maui. So this.
You took the attention off the people of Maui. We were all in unison standing up for the people of Maui.
Yep.
And she had to come in here and do her little stunt and get some attention on her and make some money.
The idea came about because, as you know, when you were there, Tony, I was on the ground talking to lots of people, trying to figure out how do I best help. And in the beginning, it was just,
talk is talk.
Still hasn't really done much to help either. Like
material things, dropping off generators and towels. And then I started talking to people. People really wanted their own agency. Gail's son, Will, sent me an article about Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, in 2017, during the wildfires in Gatlinburg, started a People's Fund. She called it My People's Fund. She had a...
And she donated her own money.
I love how Oprah literally just compared herself to Dolly Parton. Like, honey, you could never be Dolly.
No,
never.
She literally used her own money and then did concerts and put all of the money towards
concert. She raised $12.5 million and then directly gave it to the people, $1,000 a month. I thought, whoa.
Yeah, and she directly gave it to people, didn't give it to an entertainment industry fund that took $5 million out of it first.
Oh, that's the idea.
Yeah.
So
getting the money into the hand.
The idea.
Quote unquote idea.
Yeah, I didn't execute it well.
No.
Put directly into the hands of the people. To set up the infrastructure for that, The Rock and his team and my team, we were literally on I don't know how many Zooms to set up the infrastructure for the verification process to be able to drop money into people's accounts.
By the way, I was reading some Reddit threads. No one has seen any money from it yet in Maui. People in Maui are saying, yeah, I don't know when we're going to get this money that they quote unquote donated.
What the fuck, man?
And we thought, because both of us have given to charities our whole life. I've been giving to charity since my first paycheck, or tither.
So
And still do that.
And
yes,
still
yes,
do that.
yes.
Okay. So we thought starting the fund with $10 million would be a great idea, because any of us who've ever been to any benefit, you know, you go to a benefit and somebody.
No one in general public has ever been to a fucking benefit with billionaires.
I know, she acts
We don't
like it's
know
so
how
common.
benefits work, Oprah.
We've never been to one. I haven't even been to a banquet, really.
Like,
she's so
glad
out of
you
touch
can get the
now.
support of your billionaire friends and
She's
go
so out
on
of
live
touch.
TV and rant about the very people you're talking shit about right now.
Gives $10 million, that's called a good night.
Right.
So we thought $10 million will start off the fund. We'll do what Dolly did, get other people.
Do what Dolly did.
You're not doing what Dolly did, though. It's a
No!
totally different
To give money,
situation.
and then we'll put it directly into the people's bank accounts. I was
Where is
so excited. I was so excited about it.
It's still a good idea.
And then I got up
And
the
you
next
still
morning.
should be.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I got up the next morning and I saw all
You're
of this
comforting
vitriol,
her.
and I was like, whoa, what happened here? So this is what I.
Whoa. How am I being slandered right now?
In the beginning, so many people were calling, asking, where do we give our money to? So I thought, I'm going to give people a place to
create
give. We're going to create something. And
how about all the GoFundMes the family started and all the organizations that were already raising fucking money for Maui?
Right.
Why not gear them to them? No, she took the opportunity to say, how could I make money off of this? Let me create a place where people can donate.
I still think it's a really strong idea.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton was right. Putting money directly into the hands of the people is a significant thing. And the model that's been created, I will say that as of today, 2,200 people have been cleared and verified. And those people are going to get a notice.
Haven't, but going to get.
From the People's Fund of Maui, and going to have the money.
And it's
put
working.
into their
It made
bank
me
account.
deep.
And they're gonna have the money in the word, literally quoted from Oprah.
I want to hear about it when it's there. When they have
Right.
the money. Then say that. Then brag about what
Right.
you did.
Oprah, her damn self, said no one has received the money yet.
How recent was this interview? Do you know?
This was like 2 days ago. It was this week.
Oh, wow.
Sometime
So
this
very
week.
recent.
Very recent.
Okay.
You
know,
yeah.
there's no reason, in my opinion, that they shouldn't have got that money yet. It's been long enough. They've been waiting long enough to rebuild their lives. Like, can we please get that to them, like, ASAP? It's important.
Yeah. I just want to note, Oprah is considered the queen of Maui because she's the largest landowner on the island with over 1,000 acres, yet she hasn't used any of it to help people.
Shocker.
Yeah. Also want to throw out that conspiracy that she painted her damn house blue, like all those billionaires, and none of the house is burnt.
Very
I
suspicious.
wasn't a believer in the laser shit, but I will say The Simpsons talked about it.
Yes.
And I'm gonna leave it at that. People also conspire that Oprah is a part of a huge child trafficking ring and that she has something to do with missing kids in Maui. Now, I have created a compilation video.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It's some TikToks that I found. It's some clips of interviews that rub me the wrong way. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
also, I just want to say, I never liked Oprah.
Me neither. Listen, my intuition don't lie. But there's going to be a lot of Oprah supporters out there that watch this. And there's going to be a lot of people that defend the videos I'm about to show. Some of these videos are clipped up. Okay. Or cut, I should say. And the interview didn't happen exactly how the video portrays. But she has been known for asking people questions that make them uncomfortable. And
like Ellen.
Right. And it's not that all of these videos necessarily prove she's a bad person, but they just rub me the wrong way. Okay.
I want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
I think that when you brought up towards the beginning of the episode that you think that we just have to accept that any celebrity at this point is probably a corrupt person. And I want to say that in regards to Oprah. And not only is she a
Yeah.
celebrity, but isn't she like a millionaire? Billionaire?
She's a
something like that?
billionaire. She has
Yeah.
her net worth is $3 billion, I think, and she's the richest Black woman in the world.
Yeah, so everyone just keep that in mind when you're watching these videos, you know,
Right.
the wealth and the status and the celebrity, you know, it's hard to be a good person and be that high up.
Right.
I mean,
And
it's
after
true.
the compilation, I'm gonna talk about a few people that she's connected with,
Mhm.
that kind of, you know, your friends say a lot about who you are as a person.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So, let me play this video. I'm not
Okay.
gonna really talk during it, I'll talk after it
Okay.
because
Same.
it'll lag if I try to talk during it.
Okay.
Conversation. I mean, if you're 7 years old and somebody, which I was trying to say this to my friend.
Trigger
Wait,
warning,
what the
some of
fuck?
this stuff trigger warning, some of this stuff is, very disgusting and sensitive topics, so
Friends who had children, you're 7 years old and someone is stroking your penis, it feels good. Right. Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good. Yeah. And when I first said this years ago, people were like, "You crazy," because everybody wants to believe it's like sexual assault and you're being thrown up against the wall and you're being raped. And I have said for years, if the abuser is any good, you won't even know it's happened. What?
This is
I lied, I'm gonna pause it, I don't care if I lag. I see what she was trying to portray.
I don't.
But, like,
She
she's trying
literally
to
said
say
if they're good at what they do, like, you
Right.
won't. That's
She's trying the message that I believe she's trying to say is that a lot of people think kids will just know that they've been abused because it's this rough act.
Yeah.
But a lot of the
Right.
times, it's people you love, it's people you know,
Mhm.
and they don't even know what's happening.
Yeah,
But
but the
why did
delivery
she have to
was
say it? Yeah, why'd she have to deliver it that way? And knowing and trusting my gut intuition about Oprah, it just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, definitely.
Is one of Oprah's favorites. She says it's a miracle fountain of youth and her magic wrinkle cure. So I'm going to put a little on your hand.
I'd do that. Oprah did.
Yeah, Oprah did it. All right, so here, we're going to rub it right in.
How come it's red?
I'll show you in a sec, Steve. So this is made from growth hormones of human
Look, the
foreskin.
wrinkles has just disappeared.
Notice how he tried to cut her off before she said that?
Can't even ball my hand up.
But so it's made from human foreskin.
New rumors.
Now,
That's disgusting.
there's so many rumors about her using adrenochrome.
Yeah.
And she has her Fountain of Youth brand that's supposed to make you forever young or look
Yeah.
great, and literally admits to it being used from kids.
Yeah, that's strange.
Doesn't really back her very well when all those conspiracies are against her.
Yeah,
Now, this one, I want to preface by saying, Mary-Kate or Ashley, one of the two, or both, I think it was Mary-Kate, she had very bad EDs at this time and had a hard
Yeah.
time gaining weight.
I
And she
remember
was
that.
very sensitive and going through a lot mentally. She even had to be hospitalized, like in a mental hospital because of
Okay.
this. Now
Okay.
listen to how fucking insensitive Oprah is in this fucking interview.
Oh, God.
Surface has really upset you, right? You know, the one about eating.
Yeah, you know, people are going to write what they want to write. We try not to read the good or the bad because it just kind of comes with the territory. You know, either you're too fat, you're too skinny, and people are just going to write what they
What size
think.
are you, by the way?
Size?
Yeah, I always
I'm
like to
really
know.
short.
You're not sure?
Girls, and
Oh,
you know.
that's so interesting. Would he?
Wait, what did she say where Oprah said that's so interesting? I feel like Oprah was mocking her.
She said, I'm not really sure.
Like what size she is?
What size she is, yeah.
And she said, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and everyone laughed and fucking laughed at her. And then you could see their faces, they're obviously uncomfortable. It gave me flashbacks to being a kid and just, like, laughing off the uncomfort, you know?
Yes, the audience is not, totally, in the clear here
Right.
either. Just
Right.
wanna say, like, they are not
Now
innocent.
Right. This video, it has been cut. I watched the full interview, not gonna play it here because obviously it's long. Michael did get visibly upset at her questioning, and a lot of people don't know, and a lot of people argue it. He had a skin condition, basically vitiligo, and, I don't know if that's actually a condition he had, but it was like that. It changes the pigment of your skin. Because of this, he wore heavy makeup to blend all to one color because he was embarrassed by it, and he was a huge celebrity. I mean,
I
so
love
she's
him.
asking him about, "Oh, do you not like being black? Do you bleach your skin because you don't wanna be a black man?" And, like, he's
Oh
like, "I
god.
have a condition."
Ugh.
But he doesn't say, like, you don't hear his
Yeah.
response. They basically just cut it to where it was, like, all of her questions. But just
Yeah.
listen to this shit, and these are real questions she asked him.
Did he ever beat you? Are you bleaching your skin? And is your skin lighter because you don't like being black? Do you date? Who do you date? Are you a virgin?
If Oprah was
No. This
Too
is
much.
Monique. Monique, she's an actress, and she has some beef with Oprah. I want
Okay.
a backstory a little bit because I only recorded a small clip from this interview. But basically, she was SA'd by her brother, okay? And Oprah reached out to her and said, "Hey, I wanna have your brother on the show. He wants to be on the show because he did his time, and he wants to talk about how he was wrong and how other people can look out for signs of this happening to their kids,"
What
basically.
the fuck?
And she asked if she wanted to be on it. And she said, she said, "I respect you for asking me. I don't care that he's on it. I don't want nothing to do with it, though." Well, what she
Yeah.
didn't tell her was that her mother and her father were going on the show to also talk about it, and her fucking manager at the time.
Oh
And
god.
basically victim blamed and
Poor lady.
told her story without her.
That's
So she's pissed,
horrible.
and Oprah never apologized,
Mm.
nothing. And she called Oprah out in front of a bunch of people. She actually did it at a party. But this is what she has to say about that.
watching this, what would you tell her?
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do. And stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments, what you call, oh, I don't even deal with things like that. Because what people are beginning to do is see you for who you are.
She called her ass out. She called her ass out.
No, I don't know if I saved it. I might not have. Let me just check real quick. Oh, I did. So Oprah had a little bit, or Ice Cube had a little bit to say about Oprah too.
Okay.
I don't know if people know. I don't know if you even know. Ice Cube lately has been exposing Hollywood. And I believe he has people, elites after him. He is going on any and every talk show that he possibly can to talk about these things. He's also
Interesting.
being careful what he says, but keep an eye out for Ice Cube. Don't be surprised if something mysteriously happens to him. I do wanna talk about him in a future episode. I'll probably do a whole segment just on his accusations and stuff.
You're not. But I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah, you know.
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too. You know, I don't know what it is, but, you know, several of my, you know, I had a movie called Barbershop, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate with the cast. I produced a show called Black White, and it was a very controversial show. And Once again, they had the whole cast on, but I wasn't invited. And so I don't know. I don't know what that's
on Oprah's show.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's really.
But Oprah's obviously a saintly, godlike figure who's revered by all decent people. Why would she exclude you?
I really don't know. You know, that's something that I would love to find out. But I can't tell you, you know, if there's a single thing that I've done or said to her.
Have you noticed that it is more controversial to criticize Oprah than to burn the American flag?
Really?
Seems that way. I've never heard anybody criticize Oprah.
Well, bitch, I just did.
You're not.
He has a good point about
Right.
Oprah.
Now, I know this is going to be a long episode, but I do have a few more things that I have to say, okay? And there is going to be some stuff that's cut out just for time management. But I want to talk about the fact that Oprah started a school in South Africa called Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls, okay? It is said to have a lot of controversy. So much so that the South African government was the first to express its displeasure about the school and criticize the extremely high price they were required to pay to attend, and that so much of the population were extremely poor in that area. There were high-end salons and gyms and things of that sort in the school, and some people believe the school was built to traffic girls, and they even got them ready to sell them from the school.
Ugh.
Excuse me. Allegedly, girls have went missing from the academy. While we don't know if this is true, there was a woman who worked for the academy named Virginia who engaged in highly illicit conduct with 6 students, including physical assault. 2 years later, there was another incident where some students were getting physical with each other, and there was a 15-year-old girl that essayed 6 different girls and urged the victims not to tell authorities.
Oh my God.
There were 7 students that ended up being suspended for acts like this and were alleged to be trying to convince other students into also assaulting other students. Then, less than 2 years after that incident, there was, this is trigger warning here, there was an incident that a body of a newborn was found at Oprah's school. A student had given birth and took the baby's life and put it in her backpack where it was later found.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
It was also reported that violence and intimidation amongst the students happened on a daily basis. Now, Oprah doesn't necessarily have control over all of this, obviously, but it's still questionable what goes on at that academy and her true intentions behind building it.
For sure.
Also want to mention she has an orphanage in Haiti called the Lighthouse Orphanage. Just a little sketchy, and people conspire that kids go missing from there as well. She allegedly was on Epstein's flight logs.
Not surprising.
Also want to talk about the fact that Oprah's very good friends with Harvey Weinstein for over 20 years. 20-year friendship. That is a big ass red flag.
Oh yeah. Sounds like she wants to stay connected to him.
Right. If you don't know who he is, he's a major film producer who's been called out by a bunch of different actresses, over 100, that he's violated. During this time, Oprah allegedly offered her support to him. He's been known to have a bad rep since the 90s. There are allegations that Oprah was a wingman of his to convince actresses to even hook up with him.
I could see that. I mean, if a woman is going to encourage it, other women are more likely to feel comfortable with it.
Yeah. Also, she's friends with Ellen. I don't know if you know the allegations behind Ellen.
Yeah.
You know, employees saying she's a horrible person. I've always got weird vibes from Ellen too, like just
Same.
very fake.
For me, any talk show host, I feel that way, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
So
I just don't
I
believe
don't doubt it
either.
at all. There was an actress, Rose McGowan. She tweeted, "I'm glad more people are seeing the ugly truth of Oprah. I wish she were real, but she isn't. From being pals with Weinstein to abandoning and destroying Russell Simmons' victims, she is about supporting a sick power structure for personal gain. She's as fake as they come. #lizard.
Hmm.
She also invited John of God to her program.
Okay.
He is Oprah's faith healer, who was charged with multiple charges of harassment and SA and was sentenced to 99 years in prison. Her
Yikes.
very own fucking faith healer.
Yikes.
Someone like Oprah who advocates against these type of charges has a faith healer that ends up getting these exact charges.
And all of her friends, it's not all of her friends, but a lot of her friends that she associates with are into that as well, or got accused of it, or got in trouble for it.
Also, some of his victims were brought into John's life because of Oprah. She had him on his show, made him a big name, gave him a reputation, gave him, made people respect him and trust him,
Yeah.
and led his victims straight to him. So like I said, the people and friends that you keep around you in your life say a lot about you as a person.
Definitely.
Also want to just bring up Mel Gibson. The Sound of Freedom movie clearly depicts things that appear to be exposing Oprah and her school.
Mhm.
Come on now. And the fact that Netflix says yes to Cuties. You remember Cuties?
Yep. Mhm.
Fucking, if you don't know, just horrible movie about 13-year-old girls who were actually 13-year-old girls, like a dance movie. And the producer of the movie made thousands of girls twerk in front of him. 13-year-old girls, in order to choose who he wanted.
Not only that, but I started watching the movie itself at the time because I wanted to just see what the problem was,
Yeah.
and oh my god, I could not even watch it. It was so inappropriate. And especially knowing how young the actresses were, I was like, this is so wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, they'll say yes to Cuties, but not the Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, very
It's a
interesting.
lot about them. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up about Oprah. You got any other conspiracies about her ass? Comment them, please. I want to know.
Trying to dig all the dirt.
Yes. Yes.
That was very interesting. I knew some of that. I always, like I said, I've always been kind of sketched out by her. I never really liked her. I felt like someone with that much power and influence could not be fully good all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for that. So
Yeah.
moving on to our last segment, breaking the stigma about mental health, we are going to talk about ageism today.
Yes. So basically what I did is I separated it into older adults and younger adults.
Yeah.
So here's some discrimination examples for older adults.
Okay.
Age-based hiring.
Mhm.
That's a big one. Mandatory retirement policies requiring someone to retire at a certain age regardless of their performance or desire to keep working.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That should not be a thing.
We're in a society where a lot of people can't afford to retire. And if they're
Exactly.
in a state where they can still work, fucking let them. That's not fair to
Yeah.
them.
Right.
Healthcare professionals might not provide the same level of care or attention to older
Mhm.
patients, assuming certain health issues are just a part of aging without proper evaluation. But so, like, the neglect with elderly in healthcare is just so sad and so common.
I know.
It's a huge money-making scheme for them as well.
Oh yeah, all the medicine they can put them on.
Right. Sorry about my stuffy nose too, a little ASMR for you guys. But, media stereotypes. So movies and TV shows often depict older individuals as frail, forgetful, or technologically inept, reinforcing negative stereotypes about aging.
Mhm.
And that's very true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Financial discrimination. Banks or financial
Mhm.
institutions may be less willing to offer loans or financial services to older individuals, assuming they have limited income or stability.
Mhm.
Like, okay, but you offer loans to people that have limited income whenever they're young, so.
Right.
Ageist language using derogatory terms or phrases related to age, such as senile or over the hill or young and clueless,
Mhm.
perpetuates ageist attitudes.
Agreed.
Gotta drop those, man.
Mhm.
Now, how this affects their mental health: depression and isolation,
Mm.
low self-esteem,
Mm.
anxiety about aging.
And all of them are already feeling this way, so this is just amplifying it
Right.
for them.
Health outcomes,
Mhm.
because it can lead to mistrust of medical professionals, and a lot of older adults won't go seek care because they know this, and I mean,
Yeah.
I already feel this way
Yeah,
of not wanting
same.
to seek care sometimes because of discrimination, so I can
Yeah.
imagine. Now ageism goes both ways, so there
Mhm.
is discrimination for young people as well.
Yeah.
Lack of professional credibility. This is a huge one. Young professionals may be perceived as inexperienced or lacking credibility solely based on their age, making it difficult for them to be taken seriously in the workplace.
So true. So true.
Yeah.
I dealt with that a
Limit
lot.
Me too, me too. And,
'Cause,
like
I mean, that happens when you're, like, plunged into so, as you know, I was a director of development for a nonprofit for, like, 2 years or so, and I was
Yeah.
only 20, 21, somewhere around there. I didn't have a college degree. I didn't really have much experience. I had worked for other nonprofits before, but that's really it. And,
Right.
you know, I faced discrimination all the time. I would go up to people for fundraisers and everything and, vendors and clients, and they would basically just look at me and be like, "You're the director of development? How old are you? How old are you,
Yeah.
honey?" Like, they would just look down on me so much and have no respect for any of my decisions or anything I had to say. So, it's a real
Yeah.
thing.
It really is. And then add the fact that our generation is realizing it's not as important to get a degree.
Mhm. Yeah,
Just makes it
exactly.
even deeper. Limited responsibility. Employers might hesitate to entrust young employees with significant responsibilities, just like you were talking about, or
Yeah.
leadership roles, assuming they lack the necessary experience. Just because you're young does not mean you're inexperienced, and sometimes a young mind is a fresh mind.
Yep. Different
Sometimes that's
perspectives.
needed. Yeah.
Mhm.
Big one, salary discrimination.
Yes.
They
a
play it off
hundred
of, "It's
percent.
because you don't have experience,"
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm. Yep.
Ageist stereotypes about young people being lazy, entitled, disengaged. That's so untrue. I feel like our generation is one of the most hardest working. We're one of the most money hungry.
Agreed. Agreed.
You know,
But
like,
we're
yes.
just doing it in different non-conventional ways that these older people are not used to seeing, and so to
No.
them, anything new or foreign must be bad,
Yep.
basically.
Or lazy. Like,
Mhm.
no, just because I found an easier way to make money does not make me lazy. It makes me
Exactly.
not a
Smarter.
fucking worker bee. Yeah, work smarter, not
Efficient.
harder. Right. Um, Limited access to credit or loans.
Yes.
Financial institutions may be cautious about extending credit loans to young adults, assuming they lack financial responsibility, which is so hard. And I know so many adults that still struggle with this because you have to have credit for everything, but yet they don't want to give you credit.
Yes, exactly.
So it's like,
What are you supposed to do? It's
right.
a catch-22. And then another one is the car rentals. I know this is such a little thing,
Yeah.
but you have to be 25 to rent a
Yeah.
car, but you can be 16 to get a driver's license.
Right.
That's a good 10 or so years of driving experience before you can even rent a car. That's crazy to me. That's
Right.
not
I could see
necessary.
like I could see like
18.
maybe a higher deposit
Yeah.
or like just to cover just in
Yeah, I
case
think as
or
long as you're over 18
and you're
and,
insured.
and you're insured, like, you should be good to go. And I mean, a higher
Right.
deposit is understandable, but
Yeah.
don't limit them like that. Like, that's
No.
crazy.
No. Um Age-based political discrimination. So young
Mm,
people may face barriers or discrimination in politics. Some individuals believe they lack the knowledge or maturity to participate effectively.
yeah.
And a lot of that just goes with us being quote unquote woke.
Mhm,
You know?
mhm,
I'm not gonna dive too deep in that in the political aspect of things, but how this affects young adults' mental health, stress and pressure,
mhm.
imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Young people encounter ageism in a professional setting and they feel like they don't deserve their accomplishments or fear they'll be exposed as inexperienced.
I get that a lot.
Yep. Limiting opportunities. So, young adults can hinder their career growth, and access to opportunities, leading to frustration and dissatisfaction that can impact mental health. Social alienation. Negative stereotypes about young people, such as being entitled or disengaged, can lead to social alienation and a sense of not belonging.
Hmm.
And then lastly, low confidence.
Mhm.
Um, you know, there's constant exposure to ageist attitudes that can undermine young individuals' self-confidence and self-image, which,
Yeah.
as we talked about plenty in the past,
Yeah.
there are a few legal and policy frameworks put in place. Not sure how much that they actually help. It was
Mhm.
actually extremely hard to find information or statistics
Yeah.
on this. So there's the ADEA, the Age Discrimination and Employment Act. It's a law that prohibits age discrimination against individuals who are 40 years of age or older in employment, covers hiring, firing, promotions, compensation, and other employment-related issues. But obviously, there's always a loophole around things. There's also the ADA Act, Americans with Disabilities.
Mhm.
It focuses on disability discrimination, provides protection against age-related discrimination, especially if age is intertwined with a disability.
Hmm.
Then there's the Civil Rights Acts of 1964. It prohibits discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, and national origin, but it can also encompass age discrimination if age is connected to other forms of discrimination.
But it has to be connected to other forms. It
Yep.
can't just
And
be
there's
age.
loopholes to everything.
Oh.
There's still plenty of cases where jobs discriminate based on race
Yeah.
or age or
Definitely. Mhm.
gender. And then there's also always state and local laws. So,
Mhm.
local jurisdictions have their own anti-discrimination laws. Um, and then lastly, I just wrote a few tips for combating ageism.
Mhm.
For young adults, you can challenge stereotypes. Most important, in my opinion, is educate yourself. Like
Mhm.
I said earlier, we are in a world of misinformation. It
Yeah.
is so hard. Don't trust based off word of mouth. Look up your
Mhm.
laws, look up your rights.
Mhm.
Know them when you're applying for a job, when you're working for a company, when you're going to the doctor.
Yeah.
And that goes for young and elderly or
Mhm.
older adults.
Mhm.
Um, you know, interact across generations. Just because you're younger, don't not interact with someone older than you because you feel like they're old.
Right.
Make sure that if you interact across generations and everyone does, then we'll all be a community and not so separated by age. And
Mhm.
advocate for inclusive it I think I struggled with
Inclusivity.
the same word last time. Inclusivity. Damn
Yeah.
it. Um, we gotta advocate for each other. That's a
Mhm.
huge problem. So many people see stuff and they just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Especially at, like, work or doctors. There's
Definitely.
companies, I know from working in an answering service, like, took calls for companies like this, there's companies that advocate for elderly care patients because there's so many, like, nursing homes and assisted living homes and stuff that are just
Yeah.
mistreating the crap out of people.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Right.
Ooh.
And then for the older adults, stay active and engaged. Don't isolate yourself.
Mhm.
Share your wisdom. A lot of people are set in their ways. You know, they're like, this day and age is different. Things aren't taught the same anymore. Morals aren't taught. Okay, so share your wisdom. Don't talk about it not being taught without actually sharing what
Doing
you know.
something about it.
Because
Mhm.
most of the time, people that have the wrong mindset were taught that.
Yep.
Challenge age limits. Don't listen to these limits that people say you can't. If you know you can, challenge it. Stay informed. Like I said before, it's so important to know your rights, know your laws, just know what's going on when it comes to this, and
Mhm.
lead by example
Yeah.
is the last one. And that's something we can all do.
Mhm.
But it's a real freaking problem.
It definitely
And
is,
it's
yeah.
so common and no one talks about it. Well,
No.
it's not a popular topic at least.
Yeah. I wanted to say a little bit just about,
Yeah.
the culture of aging. 'Cause
Yeah.
that has been really bothering me lately. I feel
Yeah.
like, people are just so caught up in not looking older and
Yeah.
not being older, so there's always that joke about, once you get past a certain age, you start lying about your age, or especially as a woman, you'll say like, "Oh, a lady never tells her age," or like you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Just like stupid jokes like that,
Yeah.
which, I mean, they're innocent, but they're based in brainwashing, let's be real.
'Cause your
Um
age shouldn't matter, it shouldn't affect
There
anything.
should not be shame associated with age, and that's what
No.
pisses me off so much. Like,
It's
I
natural.
wanna be proud to say I turned 76 one day,
Yeah.
hopefully. 'Cause to me, I feel so strongly about this. Aging is a privilege. Not
It is.
everyone on this earth is going to have the privilege to age.
Right.
Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to pass away before that can happen. And the
Yeah.
fact that you are able to your life is extended and you're able to have more life experiences and make more memories and spend more time with your friends and family and just enjoying the earth, it's
Yeah.
kinda disgusting to me that we act like it's something to be horrified about or afraid of.
Or embarrassed.
Mhm,
Aging is
mhm.
beautiful
Yes,
in more
definitely.
ways than physical beauty, like
Yeah, I
just
agree.
having that inner wisdom
Yeah.
and having those experiences and those memories,
Yes,
it's a
which
beautiful thing to be proud of.
what you said just reminds me, you haven't seen the Barbie movie yet, right?
No.
I don't really wanna spoiler. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with the plot of the movie, it's just a
Yeah, yeah.
moment. This is a moment I really, really and anyone else who watched the Barbie movie, I'm sure you bawled your eyes out too during this moment. Barbie is in the real world for the first time, and she's sitting down at a park, and I believe she's waiting for a bus or at a park, something like that. She's sitting on the bench, and on the other side of the bench is this old lady. And, she has white hair and wrinkles, and, she looks so sweet and so cute. And Barbie looks over at her and they smile at each other. And Barbie says, "You're beautiful." And the old lady just smiles and says, "I know." And they both laugh
That's so
about it.
sweet.
And to me, just that image of Barbie, the stereotypical, beautiful young woman who doesn't age, calling the old woman beautiful. Ugh,
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
gets me, man. It gets me because, like, why don't we feel that way about older people? I just don't get it. And I
I
honestly,
know
me,
I
like,
do.
when I look at older people now, I look at them and I'm like, "Wow, they are beautiful, they're handsome." That I just think about all their life experiences
Yeah.
and just the joys and the sorrows that they've been through. And I mean, I
Yeah.
kinda decided to when the time comes, I'm not gonna dye my hair when my hair starts going gray.
Me neither, I'm so
I'm just
ready.
gonna
I
let
hope my
it
hair turns white. I want it to be white.
Same. But if it doesn't, I'm not going to
I'll
be
still be
like
happy.
yeah, I'll still be see, that's another brainwashing thing that we have, that only, like, white
Yeah.
hair is acceptable, but gray
Oh,
hair
yeah,
is more,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
ratty looking or not
Well,
as
no, I love gray hair,
Mhm.
don't get me wrong. I just say that because I've, like, I just feel like with my features, I would just look
Same.
like a badass old lady with some white hair. But if I
Same.
got the silver, then that's cool with me too.
Or a little bit of
Hey.
both. No, but it's just one of
Yeah.
those things, like, the beauty industry makes so much money off of aging and women's fear to age. I mean, you gotta think, like, serums, makeup, treatment,
Yeah.
like, there's so many things out there, and it's like, just enjoy your life, don't worry about constantly trying to look 20 years younger than you actually are, because ultimately it doesn't matter,
No.
like, of course, take care of yourself, take care of your health.
I was
If
gonna
you
say,
wanna
like, skincare, that's a little
Yeah.
different,
Mhm,
you know, if
mhm.
you're doing it for health-wise or to make sure
Of
your skin
course.
is replenished,
Your
but
skin is your largest organ in your body, take care of
Yeah,
it. Like
exactly. And that goes with, like, how you were saying in your lifetime, you will be a trend at some point.
Yeah.
'Cause
Mhm.
trends just change so much in the,
Mhm.
like, beauty standards and beauty image.
Yeah,
And I think
definitely.
about, like, a couple years ago when it was all the rage to have silver or gray hair.
Yes, right, exactly.
Meanwhile, we've always been like, "Oh my god, I have a gray hair, I need to pluck it,"
Yeah.
like
And that's
You
always
know?
painted as a bad thing. I wanna be
Yeah.
like, "Have you found a gray hair yet?" Like, people are asking my husband, Ricky, now,
Yeah.
like, "Oh, did you find any gray hairs in your beard?" Like What does it matter? You know, that's so
Right?
silly. I hoped it. But it's just one of those things, like, you just know that big corporations are profiting so much off of women's insecurities, and it makes me upset because they
Yeah.
do that enough when we're young, and then as
Yeah.
we age, they pile it on even more. It's like
Yep.
and women are only valued I feel like a lot of people only view women as valuable when they're between and this is so nasty, a teenager through 25 or
Yeah.
maybe 30 if I'm being generous. And then after
Especially,
that age Leo
especially by
DiCaprio.
Leo standards.
That's who I always think of. But yeah, no, think about it though. Like when I mean, I just turned 26 and I
Yeah.
already feel like I'm not gonna like I'm not a hot commodity anymore on the you know what I mean? Like people already
Yeah.
are probably like, "Oh, she's too old," you know? And that's so crazy to me. Like
You want something to
men
make you feel old?
Yeah.
Now in high schools, for Spirit Week, one of the days is dressing as the 2000s.
Ooh, man. I remember when in the 2000s it was dressing as the 90s.
I know.
That's so crazy, bro. But one thing though that I noticed a lot is that as men age, they are considered more attractive.
Yeah.
And women are always like, "I need me a sugar daddy who's older than me. I need a silver fox," or, you know, talking about, like, George Clooney as he ages and,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
which I mean, but, you know, like,
Yeah, yeah.
men are celebrated when they age, they're more
It always
respected.
has been.
They you know, and for women, when you age, you're not valuable anymore, you're not worth anything, and that's not true, you are. Like, your age
Yeah.
does not define anything about you, it does not define your worth, nothing, and I hate that we still attribute worth with age as well as worth with
Yeah.
weight, worth with a particular facial feature. It should not be
Yeah.
that way. We're living in 2023, people. Do better.
Right. I just wanna say, you know, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be an adult. I was always like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I just can't wait to be a grown-up," and,
Same.
you know and yeah, being adult sucks, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I wish I was just an oblivious little kid again,
Oh, yeah. We all
but
do.
I feel like this year was the year that I really, like, grew up.
Yeah,
Um,
I've seen that.
and yes, it sucks, but it's also refreshing in a way because
Mhm.
there's, like, this pressure when you're a kid of once you're an adult, you have to know everything, you have to be intelligent, you have to have your shit together,
Yeah.
and now I'm realizing that everyone's just kinda walking around trying to figure their shit out.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Oh, yeah.
no real point when you just have your shit figured out. If you're an average
Mhm.
citizen
Yep.
and not like a millionaire or, you know, a higher up, it's really just about enjoying your time and
Yeah.
learning what you can and doing what you can for your family. It's not about having this greater knowledge of everything.
Exactly, or, you know, all these successes in your life like, success is nice, don't get me wrong, and it is good to work towards something and have a goal and succeed, but when that becomes your focus instead of just, like, making memories and focusing on the people that you surround yourselves with, and it just becomes kind of empty, you know? And
Yeah.
ultimately, like, I think about it this way, like, life is just so fucking short. We
Yeah.
literally don't know if we're gonna wake up tomorrow. So, why would
And
I waste time
even if we do
Yeah.
wake up, we're gonna blink and it's gonna be 30 years later.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So why, like, spend so much time, like, worrying about knowing this and doing that and being
And
successful here
looking
and
this type of way
looking
and
that way. I know aging, like, be grateful that your deadline is a little longer than a lot of people, like, that's how
Right.
I see it, so
Yeah. Well, this has been a great episode.
I know, it's
Let
been a
me
long one.
it has been, sorry guys, but that's the special thing we're doing for episode 10, talking y'all's fucking ears off.
Woo! Hope you enjoyed.
Right?
Oh my god. I do wanna do a quick shadow work question if that's okay, 'cause I
Okay.
think I thought of one and we can make it quick, like,
Okay.
no.
I'm down.
So I wanna ask, what are you most afraid of when it comes to aging?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
I would say my health. That's the
That's
only
valid.
thing these days that I really stress about when it comes to
Mhm.
aging. You know, not It's not really about like life goals or where I'm
Yeah.
gonna be or how much money
Mhm.
I have. It's getting my health in order. Um, it's stressful at my age now. So I worry about when I'm 60
Yeah.
plus, you know. But if I get
Right.
things in order and I take care of myself and I start learning more like I'm trying to, like about nutrition and just overall health and
Yeah.
supplements and things like that, then I'm
That'll help.
hoping it'll be better,
Yeah,
you
that'll
know?
definitely help in the long run for sure.
Yeah, what about you?
Ugh.
What's your biggest fear?
Dying. How to be
You're
that
like, what's
person.
your biggest fear about aging? Not aging.
Literally though. Like there is truly nothing I'm afraid of or worried about when it comes to getting older, except for
Yeah.
the fact that I don't know if I'm gonna get old or not, you know?
Yeah.
Or like how
Yeah.
long or when does it end? Like that. And we're not gonna get into the whole existential crisis conversation again.
No, no, no.
'Cause I'm in that headspace like 90% of the time as an adult. But yeah, I think it's just mostly that. I just wanna focus on, you know, just making as many memories and experiences as
Same here.
possible and appreciating the little things because you never know when it'll end. So,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of
Love that.
depressing, but not really.
Oh my
Anyways,
god.
guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode.
Yes, okay.
Hope you enjoyed the over an hour and a half episode. We'll see what it ends at.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for the support. It's been a good run so far, 10 episodes, and hopefully
We have
hundreds
some
to
special
go.
guests coming on soon too. Not gonna announce them yet, but stay tuned. We got lots of people
Lots of
lined up.
special guests. Yeah, exciting
Yeah.
stuff. Well,
Yes.
bye guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
See you next week.